Every topic you hear, every speaker you hear from, every person you meet has value.
There are some conferences that talk about content marketing, but they're very broad strokes. This is inspirational as well as very tactical.
When you come here, you get to learn from day-to-day practitioners that are in the weeds, that are doing the hard work.
There's just so many things changing so quickly. And every single thing on the agenda was something that I said, that's something I want to know more about.
There's so many speakers and so many sessions, it's hard to pick which one to go to next.
It's awesome to have a variety of industries represented.
I've enjoyed all of the speakers. They've all been very enthusiastic, passionate about what they're talking about.
It's been really great to learn, how they're overcoming problems that we're facing, what the new content marketing strategies are to bring back to my team so that we can just create better, stronger content.
So I was jotting down ideas and notes of things that I can take back and immediately start implementing.
People are really authentic. I feel like you can ask a question and not feel like you're asking a stupid question.
And they really want to build relationships with you, and that you don't find that at every conference.
People are at all different levels, but even the people who've been doing it longer are here to mentor or to give advice.
Next year, let's bring the whole team, because I feel like everyone from my VP to the specialists and the coordinators could get something out of this.
There really is something for everyone.
It is a special place.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's Amanda with the Content Marketing Institute. We're so happy you're joining us this afternoon for our Live with CMI, another special CM World edition here. I'm excited, as always, to be joined by my colleague, JK. We are just talking beforehand how much work we have to do till Content Marketing World. 2 weeks. We're in the final countdown, right, JK?
That's right. Final countdown. I cannot believe it's less than 2 weeks. The plates are spinning right now. The deadlines are abundant, but we are so looking forward to it. I am I say it every episode. Watch that video at the top of the show. I get so excited seeing all those wonderful speakers and everybody that's coming back again and new friends we're going to make. I cannot wait. 2 weeks, sunny San Diego.
2 weeks, we will be in sunny San Diego, and we hope you will be too. If you haven't got your ticket yet, we hope today's episode you finally decide to make that purchase. This is our final episode, as we said, before the conference, and we have another awesome Content Marketing World speaker joining us today to talk about how to work smarter, not harder, right, JK?
Oh, that's right. Today we're chatting with our great friend Ailey Judge about how to harness the power of AI and automation to transform your content creation and marketing strategy. I mean, it's going to be a great show, and Lee's just one of the most fantastic presenters at Content Marketing World, and one of my absolute favorite keynoters from the past content. What was it? 2021.
Yeah, I can't remember. He'll tell us. Yeah. We can talk about his awesome keynote on the keynote stage. But before we get to all of that, as always, we want you to know that this live stream is brought to you by the Content Marketing Institute. We are the leading training and education organization for, you guessed it, all things content and marketing. And you can head over to contentmarketingworld.com to see all kinds of great resources over there. And as always, we ask you every time, we love to hear from all of you. So as you join us today, give us a virtual wave. Let us know where you are joining us from. It always makes for a more engaging live stream when we hear your comments and your questions, and we will try to get to them as best as possible. So always drop them in the comments below, and we will try to get to them. So let's get started here. So as you know, JK made this comment last week. We can't seem to escape AI. I think we've talked about it as some aspect every single time we've had a guest on here this year. So, AI can help you work smarter, but maybe you're just not exactly sure where to start when integrating it to your workflow. But today's guests can help, right, JK?
Oh, for sure. To help us with all that, like I said, Ailey Judge, founder and CMO of Content Monsta, and returning Content Marketing World Speaker. So Lee, first, how many years has it been? And second, give me the DJ year, because that was my absolute, hey, there's my celebration thing we were talking about these last episode.
That's appropriate. So I think I've been speaking since at least 2018, and the big DJ keynote was around 2020. It was the first one after pandemic when we first came back in person. 2021. Yeah, that was.
I don't think no one has ever brought a DJ table to the stage since then. Like before.
Yeah, I set the bar so high that I'm intimidated to even try to reach that. It was the only time I ever DJ'd and keynoted at the same time.
Your worlds collided, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, I loved it. It was fun.
It was a fun one. So today's topic, you posted this on LinkedIn that, bringing content and automation together has given you some wow moments. So what really opened your eyes to the power of AI in your everyday work?
So to set the stage here, I am a creative. So no matter what I say in terms of automation or, creating things with AI, at the heart of things, I'm a creative. So I don't want to offend anybody who's a creative, because I am one. And I feel that I'm very sacred to that part of it. But also, as a former marketing operations person, I've always loved a good if this, then that type automation. And so now with AI, I can upgrade it to if this, then create that, then extract that, then create that. So, I don't believe in creating AI slop, but I do see that from a business perspective, the process in creating content can be optimized.
Yeah. Well, okay. Quick, when you're talking about that, some of the things that I run into, and Amanda and I chatted about this before, it's like how you can immediately become overwhelmed by the rapid evolution of the tools. AI tools are coming about every day. They're disappearing. They're showing up. They're going away. Could you walk us through your framework for evaluating which AI solutions are worth integrating into your existing workflow versus ones that might just be like smoke and mirrors or distractions?
Yeah, in fact, I think most of them are distractions. Most of them are. In fact, recently, Joe and Robert Rose talked about it's so easy to make software now. So I'm more concerned with software slop than I am AI slop, because I met someone last week who cranked out 15 new apps. I was like, okay, this is starting to sound like they can't all be useful, right? So we're getting to a place of AI slop. So here's how I work through things. First, start with your process first. Figure out, is there a place in your process that can be more clear or more optimized? And do that before thinking about any kind of tool. And then look inside the tools you already have. If you're already using enterprise level tools, they're rushing to put AI in those tools as well. So before spending money or looking for the next shiny object from an unestablished software provider, look at the tool you already have, and then see how you can integrate that tool with other tools you already have. And then finally, I would make sure that it actually saves you time. I mean, there's been times when, as a creative, I purposely research and spend a lot of time. My whole team spends lots of time researching new products so that our clients don't have to. And often the reality is, okay, I could use this cool new AI tool and run 10 revisions to get what I want. And I've spent an hour to do it when I could have just done it manually in 30 minutes. So think about that. I mean, AI is fun. It can create some amazing new things. It can create things you wouldn't normally otherwise create, but make sure it makes sense to even use it when you may get a much better product even faster manually.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, and trying to think about, I admit I've just started, all of my marketing friends are probably like, oh my gosh, but I've just started trying to use it and figure out, what tools make sense for me. So, but that's hard. That's overwhelming. What makes sense? What's going to make my job faster, but not take the creativity out of it? So what are some practical ways, you would just starting out? Like, how do you start integrating it to your existing workflow?
Well, so Content Monsta, my agency, we have our own creative workflows for our both creative, for business, and for our clients. And so the first thing we do is we look at our existing workflows. Like today, for example, someone on my team pulled up our podcast platform and they said, wow, wait a minute, the title and the description, all the stuff's already here. And I said, oh yeah, we added an automation for that. So basically the automation is it listens to the podcast, transcribes it, writes the description based on the actual content. So it's not AI slop. It's based on what we actually said. It creates an outline, everything, timestamps and everything perfectly because it came from human content. And so that's the first thing. Look at your existing workflow, anything that's repetitive that you can automate. And then look for things that are like, if this happens and we pass it to that person, because oftentimes it gets done by one person or one department and it sits in an email. Oh, I forgot to tell you about this being finished. If you can automate that flow to say, okay, when this gets done, notify the next person, the next team, the next approver to make sure things keep moving. And that can really optimize your flow. And then think about how you can use existing content as guardrails. Like I mentioned with the podcast, we start with video in that case, which gives us content, the voice, the quotes from real people. And then we can use AI to interpret shorter versions of that content, whether it be a description or a social post that's shortened for social, but it's not AI slop because it came from real people. And that's my favorite hack is using AI to interpret content that we already created as a human that's already been like this conversation, for example. We'll say new things. We'll say things that aren't algorithmically statistical of what I would say next, which is what AI is, right? It's creative, new human stuff. But if you use AI to transcribe this, use AI to summarize, use AI to make a social post, then we really said these things, but it doesn't take a human to squash this down into a LinkedIn post, for example. So that's the kind of the process I would go through.
And saves you time to do something else, like ideate something else or whatever.
Exactly. Time savings.
And it just takes that time to sit down and go, which I know I need to do more of, is sit down and go, where does it make sense? And that takes the time, but once you figure it out, I mean, you're saving it on the back end, but.
Yeah, take the time to figure out where it makes sense before you waste time doing things that don't make sense.
Yep. Well, Lee, one thing that I 100% agree with you on, you at the top, you were talking about being a creative and a creative more than anything. A lot of people now worry that using AI means like sacrificing your creativity. So how do you balance automation with maintaining a unique, authentic brand voice and with, original content?
So one, I would say there should always be a human in the loop, whether it's the beginning, the middle, or the end. There should be a human in the loop. And it could be simple as the conversations we have. That's a human in the loop. Humans are creating this conversation. It isn't starting with AI, it's starting with humans talking. So with that human in the loop, there are places where you need a human to step in and make sure the content is still human. Automation can simply mean managing that content created by a human, but then using AI to optimize the process. And then secondly, if your AI content involves prompts, get extremely good at prompting by using creative teams that use the creative speak to create the prompts. For example, when I found out that Midjourney understood camera language, and I began saying things like, give me a 50 millimeter lens, 1.8 aperture, with a soft bokeh background, those kind of things. Speaking that creative language gave me much better AI output. So if you're the person who doesn't understand the kind of creative you're making, get somebody who understands the creative and speaks creative, and that way the human still runs the show.
That's a really good point. I didn't think about that.
Right.
Having someone who actually knows how to in that specific field.
Yeah, and it goes beyond just creative like outputs. When we first got ChatGPT, I realized we had a client who they did a scientific type podcast, and they wanted us to take a 30-page research document and narrow it down to just some talking points. Well, it was in biotechnology, and that was our client. And we weren't creating a creative thing. We were actually using AI to create basically an outline. Well, my wife, who has a degree in biotechnology, she wrote the prompt instead of me and got a much better output because
Right.
she understood the language of the output we're trying to get. Whereas if we're trying to get a photo or a video, that's my language. I could talk that better. So having the correct human in the loop makes a big difference too.
Yeah, and I love the fact that you, just like you said, there's always a human in the loop. You know what I mean? Because it just seems, we've talked about this before on this, time and time again when we're talking about AI, and there seems to be a sea of sameness that comes out of AI, or lack. I don't want to say lack of creativity, but like lack of, individuality. So I think by adding that human factor into the loop, especially the human factor that has a distinct knowledge of like you said, the prompts or, how to add that creative factor, that human creative back into it. Like you said, you're getting unbelievable results, compared to just like if you would have were to
My
sit there
results are not too good.
yeah, like my results, if I tried to sit down and have a 30-page biotech thing broken down into talking points, would be completely, your wife would ask me to leave the room.
Right. And if you're creating, like you're working on the show, right? The backdrop for the show and the theme of content marketing world,
yeah,
they are creative things that you would think to say, some words you would use because of your professional background in creating that the average person wouldn't have. And so you could create a much better prompt.
Yep, for sure.
Absolutely. Well, one thing that I think when you're working with a team is, everyone needs to embrace AI. We talk about it, we preach about it, but it's, if you're on a team, it's a little scary. Like, can AI replace me? Like, they want me to learn this, but at some point, is it going to take my job? Especially if it's a highly automated job. So how can, leaders get employees on board, and how should, marketers kind of look at this challenge of embracing AI?
I think we often overthink it. To me, AI is just another skill set. I mean, if you're the fry person at McDonald's and they bring in a new French fry machine and you refuse to learn how to use it, you lose your job. Same with, same with AI. It's a technology that's available whether to enhance your work, right? So, I mean, like at some point there was a person who worked in the mailroom. They were replaced by fax machine and email. So hopefully they upskilled to learn how to use email or fax machines. So that's the same thing I think where we are now with AI. You have a choice to upskill, because whether it is using AI to create or just using AI to be more efficient, it is a skill we all need to learn right now.
And that's sort of what you would say, like if you're trying to get your employees on board to accept these tools.
Yeah, I mean, I would say as an employer, look, this is where we're going. Things are changing fast. Find out how you can make your job more efficient. And the thing is, I'm a business owner, and if I have 2 employees, one who all of a sudden their productivity just doubled, they're more valuable. And if they double it using AI, I'm looking at the output, and I always say, don't create photographs for photographers and don't DJ for DJs, because you end up impressing the art and the people around you, but you don't impress your productivity. I had a DJ once. I walked into a club. The DJ saw me and began cutting and scratching and mixing, and the dance floor was like, "What the hell's going on?"
Yeah.
He was DJing for the DJ, but the audience wanted to hear him mix and entertain them. So when it comes to upscaling for AI, I wouldn't go too much the purist route and say, "Oh, well, that's cheating if I use AI." That's great for pure personal creativity. But if you're talking about your job, you got to be productive. And if AI makes you more productive, the person next to you, whoever's most productive, has a better stance in their job. So as an employer, yes, use AI, become more productive. Think of new ways to become productive. And I don't see it as necessarily cutting jobs. I look at it as keeping your current workforce stable as they grow. And you don't have to bring in new people because the ones you have are more efficient.
Yeah.
And then the ones who don't adapt, eventually you'll look around and go, wow, everybody's 10 times more efficient than you, but you're not adapting using AI, using the tools we're giving you. If I give you Microsoft Word and you refuse to use it, you want to use a pen and paper, that's not as efficient. It just doesn't work in the environment. So it isn't that complicated. It's just technology that we have to embrace.
Yeah, it just is scary for some, how all the stuff around AI makes it, everyone's just like worried about it and hesitant.
Internet was scary, fax machines were scary, copy machines were scary, printing press was scary to somebody.
And,
so,
and that's an incredible.
They're so scary to me. So,
but Lee, that is an incredible insight. It's not, there's so many people worried about AI taking their job that, as a business owner, you're looking at it as it's enhancing the productivity that we're putting out. No, I don't want it to take my employees' job. I just want it to make them better because we're going to get double the work. So that is fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, right now, I think November 22, when ChatGPT first came out, now there is a place where some jobs may be lost simply because we needed this human skill set. For example, we had a writer in November that we stopped hiring because they were just summarizing. We weren't hiring them as a skilled writer. We were hiring them as someone who could summarize something very well. Well, ChatGPT comes out and just gets rid of that task. But they were doing a task. It wasn't a skill. It wasn't a career. It was a task. So maybe you should, everyone should examine themselves to say, am I doing tasks, or do I have a skillful career? Do I have a skill set that encompasses many things and not just one repetitive thing? So that's what I would do as an employee to see if I'm shielded from being replaced by AI. Am I just doing tasks, or do I have a unique skill set?
Perfect.
So if there's one tool or maybe one step you want marketers to take when it comes to AI and integrating it in their work, what would it be? Like maybe they're not quite there yet. They're just starting, like looking at it. Like what's your one kind of takeaway?
Well, this is something I actually talk about a little bit in my presentation for Content Marketing World. And I want them to understand the difference between a true innovative AI platform versus software that's just a user interface on top of an AI platform. We test a lot of software when we realize, wait a minute, this is just a user interface to ChatGPT. Like, why am I using this software when it's just going to charge me as a middleman to use ChatGPT? And I don't even know what version it's using. Why am I not getting good outputs when I, for the same price, could just use ChatGPT? So I want people to understand the difference between a platform and all the millions of software that are coming out that are just middlemen between you and that platform. Because this will help them ignore some of those shiny objects. And also, as I talk about automation in my presentation, if you understand where the data is coming from and how it's being used at a platform level, like OpenAI or Anthropic or Claude, then you have a better place to start to connect these together, to use perhaps one for transcription and one for writing something and one for image creation. If you understand where these things come from, then you can use a lot fewer tools and have a lot more automation.
And you think that, just being there, are they clear about where that's coming from when they're trying to sell it to you?
Yeah, I mean, we have a tool that, and sometimes it actually is worth it. We have a tool that we use to create like summaries and YouTube titles and questions. And what it does is it does like 15 different things. It allows us to put all the prompts for that purpose in that one tool. And so we upload a YouTube video. It may give us the description, titles, timestamps, all these things in one place. Now, in that case, it's worth it to use that tool, even though we know it's just a user interface over ChatGPT. But if we go to ChatGPT, that would mean us putting in 5-6 different prompts to get this. And so it does save time. It's still worth the $20-30 a month because it saves us time versus going into each individual tool. And also from a training standpoint of staff, instead of saying, here are the 5 or 6 custom GPTs, use this tool. One person can manage the prompts on the back end and update it as needed. You just use the tool. So in that case, it's worth it. But we've gone through 5 before we got to that one, which somebody had to take the time to test and realize, okay, these first 4 shiny objects aren't that good. This 5th one is the one. And so you got to figure out, do you want to spend that time or do you want to just go to the core? If you only have to do it once or twice, just go to ChatGPT or Claude. But if it's a repetition or you need more automation, maybe you use the user interface.
Oh, good stuff, Lee. And you have so much more coming up in your session at Content Marketing World. It'll be on Tuesday, September 16th. Content, AI, and automation, streamlining marketing workflows. That will be a great session as always. And you can register for the event and for Lee's session by heading over to contentmarketingworld.com. We have our keynotes are up there. Guy Raz, the podcasting pioneer, will be there. The folks from The Onion will be there. So lots of fun stuff planned. And if you use Live 100, you can save $100 on your registration. And Lee, what do you love most about Content Marketing World? You've been there quite a few times now.
I love the community. I love that it doesn't end when the show ends, because I mean, we have. Not only is there like a Slack community, there's an email community, there's people that you continue talking with year round. I don't feel like it's a once per year event. It's a year round event, but we just have our family reunion once a year.
Yeah. And I think that's like one of those things we can't emphasize enough, because I think everyone we've talked to before the event for our speakers have said that, like, the year round aspect of it, once you start meeting those people and if you stay connected with them, it's really not just the event. It's people work together, people have friendships. So it's so much more than just the event.
Yeah. I mean, I've done business with people that I've met at the conference, business deals, projects. Sometimes it's just, hey, JK, I'm doing this thing. What are your thoughts on it? Having that professional connection, especially for those of us who work remotely in different teams around the world. We don't have water coolers to go to, right? We don't have that microwave in the break room to go to. So we have each other virtually to say, hey, I need to bounce this thought off of you. And this community is a year-round version of that.
It's like I've said it every episode. I've said it for the past 15 years. For me, it's like old home week. Once you get there, you're hooked and you want to come back because you meet so many people and you make friends. And, I'm very blessed to have made friends all over the world that I have kept in contact with, like you said, year round. And these are professionals, like you said, Lee. I bounce ideas off them. They'll text me and ask me how my kids are doing. You know what I mean? It's just amazing the sense of community that this crazy little event we started in its 15th year now has started. So I'm so
people
excited.
Really care.
They do.
Like, I know your daughter's going off to college, right? I know this because it's a community thing, right?
That's right. So, great.
Right. Well, thank you again so much, Lee, for taking the time with us. And we will see you in just 2 short weeks at Content Marketing World once again. So until then, we will see you.
All right.
Thank
see you soon.
you.
Thanks. Take care, guys.
Lee. All right.
Yeah.
So, as Lee said, we've talked about the relationships and connections you make at Content Marketing World, and for many people, it's truly life-changing. And so, you've heard Lee's story, but I want to share with you another good friend of ours, Divya's story. So, take a look.
Going to my first Content Marketing World was amazing because I got to meet other people that were content strategists as well, because the company where I was working, I was the only content person. I met Annie and Janine. They were amazing. And I feel like they kind of took me under their wing and we kind of like explored Content Marketing World together, because it was also their first time at Content Marketing World. So it was nice to have other people that were also first-time attendees exploring this conference together. And then after that, the 3 of us ended up being speakers for the next Content Marketing World. And that was another amazing experience. I live in Los Angeles, they live in Cleveland, and there would have been no reason for us to meet if it hadn't been for Content Marketing World. I'm really grateful for them, and we're still friends and we still connect and talk, and they've actually helped me with other things, content strategy wise, life wise, and just helped me grow professionally as well. So it's almost like the community that I had been looking for, that I didn't even realize I had been looking for until I got there.
That's so special. I love that so much.
Yeah, she was another one. I think that she first came in 2021, I think, as well with Lee. So at the same time, so you just never know. So we can't express the value of those connections you make enough. So we've told you about the great sessions like Lee's. We've shared about the great networking and connection. So we want to chat a little bit about all the fun stuff that we have planned. So one of the things that actually JK and I are kind of in charge of are the yoga and the running club. So tell us about the running club, JK.
Oh, well, I wake up and get these lovely group of maniacs up at 6 o'clock in the morning, right before the event starts. And we do a nice 3 to 3 mile run along the water, right down the Embarcadero in San Diego. It's absolutely gorgeous. You get to see the sunrise and you come back, you feel a little pumped up and ready for the day to start. It's a little early, but it's a lot of fun.
It is early, and yoga is the same way. We get up for an early 45-minute all level flow there on the terrace, and it's usually like pitch black when we start, and then by the time you're done, the sun rises up. So it's actually, and you're right on the water, and it's pretty cool. So if those, you start your day with some running. I'm not a runner. I start my day with yoga, so you could do that. So those are two fun things that we offer. And another very popular thing we do is we have puppies. So who doesn't love puppies, right?
Oh my gosh.
So we'll have the Puppy Love Lounge. It was just one day last year. We are going to be having them for 2 days, I believe. And so you can come see some they're the Amazing Strays Rescue. So they bring their rescues Tuesday and Wednesday during lunch. So stop by the binder booth at 531, and you can also donate to the great cause for these little pups. I mean, this was like people swarmed.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what line was bigger. Was it the keynote line? Or the
Easter Ray or it was like, I know, it was all right there. People love those puppies, and it was just like fun little
it's
break.
Just a wonderful little break. It's just, and who doesn't love cuddling a pup? I mean, look at that.
Yeah, it was so much fun. So be sure to check that out. Another exciting thing, as we always have, we have the CM World Party every year. So last year was a little different because it was around Halloween. So we had Elvis there. Elvis showed up. We also have, JK, are we doing drink and draw?
Yes, we are.
Talk a little bit about drink and draw. We do that at the party this time.
Yeah, I section off. I have a little section off of the party, and if you feel like getting a little creative, I bring some prizes along, and what I do is I grab a drink, sit down. We have some pencil and paper sitting in front of you, and then I give the whole group. I will give you a couple prompts to draw. Like 1 year, I said draw the best version of Robert Rose. So people would draw what Robert Rose, and then you have a chance to win prizes and have a lot of fun. But the biggest thing is just get creative and have fun with other attendees. And that is definitely
popular. It was very popular last year.
Well, Elvis hosted it, so that's
why.
I
mean, Elvis was there. Elvis was in the building, so it was popular. But if drawing is not, you don't have to be an artist to participate in drink and draw for one. That'll be you should know that. But if maybe you're not into drawing, we'll have dancing. You could connect with other attendees over cocktails. So we just have DJ, a lot of fun there as well. So you don't want to miss that networking opportunity. Even if you're an introvert, I highly recommend stopping by.
For sure.
What else do we have here? We will have, every year we do our community meetup.
Yeah.
So our CM World Community Meetup, we love seeing all the people that you maybe have connected with over social media. So, everyone comes to a location and we all hang out for a little bit and network and connect. So that is always fun. And we are also once again doing our fun, and I forgot to put mine on, friendship bracelets. So
yeah, I have my little I got a couple CM World ones on my little little collection here.
I totally forgot to put mine on for the show. But we will have, if you are good at making bracelets, or maybe you have a young child who likes to make bracelets, you put them to work right now. And then you can always trade them at Content Marketing World. So that's always a fun thing we do. And then what else do I have on here? Oh, so this is it. If you are staying in San Diego extra on Thursday morning, JK will actually be on an airplane. But some of our Content Marketing World coworkers did this last year, and it's surfing. So the BOL agency is offering surfing lessons. And so it was so much fun last year. That was Savannah and Amanda taking the lessons.
Oh my gosh. I'm so jealous. How fun does that look?
I know. We just didn't have quite enough time, JK, to do the surfing and then hop onto the plane back home. But it would. Yes, they all had so much fun. And I think you have to register. So hurry up and register if you are interested in doing that. That was a lot of fun last year as well. So a lot of fun planned, a lot of connections, a lot of learning. So much will be happening. 2 weeks in San Diego. So if you have any other questions about the event, you're teetering, you don't know if you should go or not, please just feel free to ask JK and I. We will gladly answer your questions. If you're going to be there, let us know. We'd love to meet you as well. So yeah, we got a lot of work to do and then a lot of packing to do.
And you know what? Before we leave, I think we should give a little birthday shout out to a community friend of ours. You know, we were talking about our community meetups and stuff, and one of our community champions celebrating a birthday, I believe, this week. So I'd like to give a little hat tip and happy birthday to Andy Robinson, who's just been a fantastic friend of the show and Content Marketing World, and a big, like I said, she's been a wonderful community leader for us. So I wanted to take a couple seconds before we signed off, and we get to see her in person here in a couple weeks. So
yes, and she's been on the live stream a few times as well. So yes, happy birthday, Andy. We'll celebrate in 2 weeks in sunny San Diego. So
that's right.
All right, I think that's all we have for now. We will be in San Diego. We'll be back after the event at some point. A little wrap up. And
a little wrap up.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a live stream of us sleeping.
Yeah. That would be an interesting, live streaming cam from us. So we'll be back sometime after the event to do a little wrap up, and we'll have the rest of the year with some more awesome guests here on the live stream. So until then, I hope everyone has a great week and safe travels if you're coming to San Diego.
Can't wait to see you all. Safe travels. See you soon.
See you, JK.